Hello everyone, welcome to the very first study jam on Flutter. I am Ravi Upadhyay from Team Naugat, and today I will be taking you through an exciting journey into the world of app development and Flutter. In today's session, we will understand what is Flutter and what are the differences between them, and then we will move towards the installation part and we will set up Flutter and run our very first counter app. So let's get started. So we all use mobile apps in our day-to-day life, right? Whether it's WhatsApp, Instagram, or YouTube. But have you ever wondered how these apps are built? What are the tools that we use to build them? Well, today we are going to get an exclusive behind the scene look at how modern apps are built and more importantly, understand why Flutter has become a preferred choice for developers. And also don't worry if you are new to coding. This session is designed for beginners and by the end you will have clear understanding of all the points mentioned below like what is Flutter, what is Dart, the other alternatives of the app development and why to choose Flutter, the common and modern apps made by Flutter, for example Google, and we will discuss many more other. And next we will move towards installation part and we will set up Flutter Dart emulator and we will run our first counter app. So let's dive in and start this exciting journey together. So first of all, we will have a look on what is app development. So in simpler word, it is a process of designing, building and maintaining software applications that run on various platforms including mobile devices, desktops, web browser, and even embedded systems. These applications are developed using different programming languages, frameworks, and tools based on the target platforms and performance requirements. So this is all about app development. Now let's have a basic idea of what is Flutter. So Flutter is a framework created by Google. It is an open source UI framework that allows developers to create apps that work on multiple platforms, including Android, iOS, web, and desktop. The one of the major feature of Flutter is cross-platform development. That is, instead of writing separate code for each platform, Flutter enables developer to write once and run everywhere, making development faster and easier. Now, what is Dart? So Dart is a language that is used by Flutter. Flutter app are written in Dart. Basically, Dart is a programming language which is also developed by Google and it is quite similar to Java. A common question is, are the Flutter and Dart the same thing? So no, these are different. Flutter is a framework. It provides tools, widgets, and libraries to build apps. And Dart is a programming language. It defines how the app functions, processes data. Let's have an example and think of a Flutter as a toolbox for building applications and Dart as a blueprint and material needed to create them. Flutter handles the UI components, animations, and cross-platform development. We have already seen what is cross-platform. Like instead of writing separate code for each platform, Flutter enables to write once and run everywhere. This is a unique feature for Flutter above its competitors. So these are the other alternative for app development instead of Flutter like Kotlin, Swift, React Native, and many more. And these are the some point mentioned below that why Flutter is used for app development. That is, it is open source. It has faster development cycle, and Flutter support hot reload and hot restart. It means that this speed up development and testing cycles. Flutter allow developers to see changes instantly without restarting the app, and it overall enhance the performance and speed of app development. The next point is it is quite easy to learn. That is support Dart and which is similar to Java. It supports the oops. The second point is widgets. Widgets are used. in Flutter to create the UI components, and it comes with ready to use widgets. We all can create our custom widgets, and it has good community support. So this is the point we have seen that why Flutter is used for app development. We all see uh, all this point in much more detail in the upcoming sessions, and we will also do hands-on on Dart and Flutter, and we will create many apps together. So these are the common apps that are built using Flutter, like Alibaba, eBay, SpaceX Go, Google Pay. You all can see on your screen. These are the common apps that use Flutter. So till now, our motive is that to understand what is Flutter, what is Dart, and the basic difference between Dart and Flutter. I hope you are clear with all the points that I have mentioned. And now we will come to installation part. So don't worry, if you have any confusion in the later upcoming sessions, we will discuss each points and we will also do implementation of all the code. Now, here is the installation part of the Flutter, and we will here set up Flutter, and we will create our first app, that is counter app. The next session, the next part, we will taken by Tane, and Tane will guide you.
Hola developers, I am Tanay Palekar and I want to thank you guys for sticking with us through this session. Now let's deep dive into the main section of this tutorial, that is Flutter installation. Before we start, let's go over a quick checklist. First, you should have a stable and reliable internet connection as we will be downloading several tools today. Second, this might be your second or first installation, so please be patient as we go through this process together. I have reset my PC so that my setup will be similar to yours. If you face any trouble while downloading or have any queries, I will be placing community's link in the description. You can ask your queries there in the query channel. Now let's start. We will start by downloading VS Code, then followed by Flutter, and then Android Studio. Now visit your browser, search VS Code, download, click on the first link, choose your operating system. Here in my case, it's Windows 11. It will ask save. Now we will install Flutter. Search Flutter, install, then install Flutter. Choose your operating system, then choose your first app type. Okay. Here in our case, it will be Android. Here you can see there are some hardware requirements listed. First one is minimum 4 cores, recommended is 8. Minimum RAM 8 GB, recommended is 16. Minimum free disk space 11 GB, recommended is 60 GB. Like the RAM part don't discourage you. It will work fine in 8 GB also. Then development tools, Git for Windows. I am sure you have downloaded Git in the previous session. Second, Android Studio we will be downloading today. Now we can see there are two ways to install the Flutter SDK. First, using the VS Code, using the command prompt. And second, directly downloading the zip file. We will be using this approach as this is much easier to download. Click on save. Okay, now the installation is started. Let's check our VS Code installation is complete. Double click on it. Okay, accept the terms and conditions. Next, next. Okay, make sure you right check all the boxes. Install. Now it's installing, so we will have to wait for some time. Okay, now your VS Code is installed. Congratulations, you have completed the first part. Now let's move to our next part, that is Android Studio installation. Search Android Studio. Okay. Click on the download Android Studio. Here you can see some features. Click on the download button. Accept the terms and conditions. Click on save. Meanwhile, we will extract our zip file for Flutter. Okay. Is extract to a known location, which would have a large amount of storage. Extract all. I would be extracting in D disk. Select folder. Extract. Make sure you remember the path, as we would be needing it to set our environment variable for Flutter. 55 seconds left. We will first set up our Flutter app, then we will install the Android Studio. Let's wait till it's extracted. Since our Flutter is extracted, click on it, go to the bin directory, copy the path, search, edit, system, environment variables, then edit variables, double click and paste it. Click on OK 3 times. Now, if you want to check if Flutter is installed correctly, we will run command prompt or terminal. Okay. And type flutter dash dash version. Click on enter. Okay. In some time, you will see here version which is installed. Okay. So it's saying Flutter 3.27.4 channel stable. You can see other info related to it. We'll close the window. Now we'll set up the Android Studio. Let's go to your download directory. Click on Android Studio. Double click. Now setup is loading. Click on the next to continue. Then next, next, install. Now it's extracting the files. Click on finish. Click on next, next, next. Accept the terms and conditions. Click on finish. Now it will download all the files previously shown. Now we will have to wait for some time. It may take about 30 minutes to install. Here we can see what are the processes installing. We can see all components are installed. Click on finish. Then we will download the plugin. Here in my case, both of the Flutter and Dart are already installed. As I have installed them previously, you have to install here. Now let's create a new project. Before we will check if all the devices and SDK tools are installed. You can see Android 15 is installed. Then Android emulator is installed. Okay. Build tools are installed. Okay. Now we can move forward. Click on the Flutter new project. Give a nice name. I would be giving my name. Click on Flutter. Okay. Here we have to set the SDK path. This is the path where your Flutter is stored. Okay, we have installed or extracted in the D. So we click on the Flutter. Okay. This is my path. You would be choosing yours. Then click on next. So you can see it's creating our project. Wait for a couple of minutes. Now here we can see it's a default project. Okay, what's new? Here we can see what are the new features of this Android Studio. Now we will go to the device manager. It's second. Click on the plus sign. Create a virtual device. You'll be choosing a phone Pixel 7. Click on the next. Okay, a system image must be there. We'll have to refresh it. So here we can see there are various system images. Choose the system image which will have Google Play in front of it. I would be choosing vanilla ice cream. It will start downloading. Kindly be patient during the process as it will take time. So now the download is about to be installed. It's unzipping. It's successfully installed. Click on finish, choose, click on next. You may give name of your choice, but I will go with the default one. Finish. Okay, here we can see our device is successfully created. Click to run it. It's starting up. We can see it here in some time. The code which you are seeing on the middle is the default code for the counter app. We'll understand this later in the next session. Since the emulator is connecting, we will run a command named flutter doctor or doctor. It's giving two errors. You can first one is Android SDK command line tools. Apply. Okay. Accept. Next. Now it's downloading it. Okay. On the right side, we can see our emulator is successfully created and connected to the device. Now the component successfully installed. We click on finish. Apply. Okay. Now we will rerun the flutter doctor command. This thing Visual Studio is not installed. Okay. We will install it later, or you can install it later. Now let's run our first program. Click on run button. It will take some time as you are launching the app for the first time. For me, it took about 15 minutes when I first ran the app. So let's wait till then. So you can see our app is installing. Here we can see Flutter logo. Okay, it's a counter app. Let's undock this. Now you can see when I click the button, here says you push this button this many times. It's one. If I click second, third, fourth. Okay. Here you can see two buttons. First is hot reload. We will be knowing its importance later. Second, hot restart. Now we will stop the process and we'll run the app in VS Code. So stop the emulator. Close. Click on exit. VS Code. First we will install extensions. Click on Flutter. Install. Then search for Dart. It should be included in the Flutter. Okay, it's installing. We will wait till then. As the extensions are installed, click in search. Okay, type Flutter, new project, application. Choose the folder. I will be choosing my coding folder. Name the application. Note: while naming the application, use only small alphabetical letters and underscore. It's in my first app. Click enter. Now the Flutter create command is running. Here we can see all the files are created. In Android Studio, we had run the app on the emulator. Now we will try to run it in Chrome. Click on the run without debugging. In short time, we can see here Chrome launching. Here we can see it's the same counter app. Clicking on button, you can see. Okay. We will now close. Here you can also see hot reload, hot restart, and stop button. We'll stop the project. And now we will try to install our app on the emulator. Let's resize this. Resize. We have resized it. Now we will try to run without debugging. Now it should not take that much time since we have previously run the app. Okay. So we can see our app installing. It's same. Now we'll close our app. Let's see what's next. VS Code installed, Flutter installed, Android Studio installation successful. Okay. Next session will be on YouTube, 10th of Feb 25 on 6 p.m. It will be about the Dart basics. Okay. Thank you for today. We will meet in the next session.